Just until they're gone. The last fewer than 120 of those now available. Now this is the one you were talking about, the NGC, that started out $700 less.
We sold, I think I had 80 of these originally. Then we sold them all for $39.99.95, just like I said I would, because that was my original handshake price. Well, I had lesser of the NGCs at my original price. So last week I literally went into the market and I bought these at market pricing. And this is the new price.
Wow.
$46.99.95. Now, as I told you, I have 15 coins at this price. So if I have to go out today and buy more of these, the price isn't $46.99.95. Now the price is going to be $47.99, $48.99, more likely $49.99.95. So for those of you that want NGC, like I said, I had them at the same price. I like to bring them out at the same price. Some people prefer NGC over Annex, and I happen to have more Annex coins because I send more coins into Annex to certify, because we have so many exclusive coins with them. We have some exclusive coins with NGC as well. But some people say, look, I only want the NGCs. For those of you, I have the coin. I have them in stock. Be careful if you buy any of these coins and they go, well, we'll get them to you. We're waiting for them. They're on the way. They're this, they're that. You do not want any of that, folks. You need to buy them from somebody who owns the coins, who has the coins, who have them ready to ship, and that's exactly what we have. These are the early release coins that you see here. In NGC, the same 1 ounce palladium, the same coin sold out from the United States government in 1 minute, and is still proof 70. It is still high relief. And like I said, early release NGC with this. Like I said, I wished I could still do the old price, but this is the price for this 15 coins. For this 15 coins. And that's all I've got, is this 15 coins that I can guarantee at this price. Now, I still have some of the Annex coins, which is the same coin in the same grade, but I bought those earlier. I'm still reflecting that. I could easily put $46.99.95 on those coins. But we're gonna do $39.99.95.
For sure.
Because that was my original price. I haven't had to go back into the marketplace to buy those coins.
How hard was it for you to get these 15?
I had to make about 20 phone calls and found one guy that would sell me 15 coins.
Wow.
It's not even, and you have to understand with the palladium, it's not necessarily even about price. Okay, it's not even about price. It's about availability. It's just having them, because it is the single hottest coin I've seen in the numismatic market in almost 20 years that they have with this. Last year's palladium was crazy. This year's wiped that out in terms of popularity, in terms of sellout, in terms of desirability, in terms of collectability, because that was a mint state coin. So if you remember a mint state palladium coin from last year, it's kind of almost dull looking. It's a kind of a matte finish coin. This is a proof coin in high relief, and this one, of course, has been certified early release and ultra cameo, early release, high relief, PF70, absolutely positively perfect. Remember, those are the coins we're selling are absolutely positively perfect. We have the NGC. I still have limited numbers of the Annex at $39.99.95.
That's right. These this is 640772. I want you to go ahead and write that item number down. I want you to go ahead and you can call us, or you can always shop on